Hey, this is Evan again. This is a unorganized week in the life of me, and I just want to tell you guys about how my production skills developed throughout City's Finest, because you always learn something every day. So my production skills developed significantly through City's Finest, especially in the areas where it was like planning, filming, and editing. But at the start, I didn't really think deeply about how each shot would impact the audience because I was more focused on getting it done. But my film was more basic and straightforward. However, as I progressed, I began to understand the importance of planning shots more carefully. I started considering things like camera angles, framing, and how each shot would contribute to the overall story. For example, I use close-up shots to show Robert's reactions and panic, which really helps connect the audience with the characters, and wider shots clearly establish the setting and action during the robbery. I want to say though, during filming, I improved my abilities to maintain continuity, because at the beginning, I was not good at that at all. Early on, there were moments where actions didn't even fully match the shots, but I became more aware of this and made sure movements, positions, and timing stayed consistent. This made the final project feel smoother, thank goodness, and more professional, because that was something that we had a problem with. I also became more confident directing the scene and thinking about how to visually communicate the narrative rather than just recording the narrative. In editing, though, my skills developed the most. At first, I focused on simply putting clips together, but over time, I started to think more about pacing and how it affects the audience's engagement, which is something I didn't really think about back then. But I used faster cuts during the more intense or chaotic moments, like when the robbers are trying to escape and they hear the doorbell. I also paid way more attention to timing, especially for comedic timing, such as the reveal of the detective disguised as a delivery driver. Make sure it's edited in a way that made the moment more surprising and effective, to catch our audience. Additionally, I improved my use of sound and how it contributes to the overall tone. I became more aware of how dialogue, timing, and any background audio can enhance both the narrative and the comedic elements. This helped me create a better balance between tension and the humor, which is important in crime comedy film. Overall, I could say that I developed from someone who was simply recording scenes to someone who is making more deliberate and thoughtful creative decisions. I now have a stronger understanding of media language, including the camera work, the editing, the sound, and how the elements just work together to engage the audience and make a perfect film like City's Finest. This made my final project more polished, more entertaining, and more effective in communicating a story, which is something I'm so glad I take media studies in, so I can learn how to direct way better. And I'm so glad I could learn and live just for City's Finest to become its best. Anyways, I could say this week was pretty, all over the place. Went to dinners. I don't even know. That'll be the end for me. And then I got really sleepy. Okay, bye.